This is the first video where I've had to start by making some notes. I've never done that in a video before. You know, I'm always someone who just flies off the cusp, got something in mind, and I'll go with it. In this one, I just want to make sure I don't forget something that's important. I don't like continually talking about myself. I just hope that by talking about myself and my growth and my abilities to do things, it enables other people to look at themselves and realize there's so much potential in all of us. And that's all this is. It's just me looking and realizing, bloody hell. Look, I didn't realize how much I can actually accomplish, like what I can do. And I think when people hear what I can do and what I do manage, I think it'll blow their mind too. Now, I'm not saying I'm the best in each field. So I'm not saying I'm the best writer on the planet. I'm not saying I'm the best person to create YouTube content. I'm not saying those things. What I'm saying is I'm at least proficient in those crafts. Now, I think my writing is really, really, really good. But it's not for me to, it's people can determine for themselves. The point isn't about being the absolute best anyway, But are we self-sufficient? And it's ridiculous how self-sufficient I am. I can sit and do all the process to create these videos. And sometimes with other people, maybe it take a team to do it. Someone maybe have to write a script or all these things. I do it all myself. I'm confident in what I talk about that I don't need scripts. But even I don't give myself credit for that. I've always said my main priority is my writing, is my books. That's what I'm most proud of. And then it's almost like I never give myself a moment to appreciate other things I accomplish, and other skill sets I have. It's just an afterthought. Like, oh yeah, I can do that as well. Yeah. But wait a minute. Pretty good at that. You're pretty good at that, and you're pretty good at that. So stop maybe dimming it down. That's the point, isn't it? So I recently started working on a website project. I had something I wanted to do, but I never got around to doing it. And I've done a lot in the space of a weekend. And I got excited. I was genuinely really excited. But for so long, I've just been focusing on my books and the video content. I used to just dabble with websites maybe a decade ago. Like I used to love it 10, 15 years ago. That was my thing. I was just really into it. Always had ideas, always playing with concepts, and there would always be something that troubles me. And, because the websites only come alive by the content on them. You can create any foundation for anything, but if there's no content on it, it's just pointless. So it's only through putting the content in and keep adding and adding and adding do we realize where something needs to be a bit more organic. So, you create posts, you create content. Now, all of a sudden, I need to split that content up because this one's specific to this. Think of it like genres or categories. This is this category, this is that category. I want to be able to segregate them somehow, but I want it to blend. And if I'm reading, like, for instance, let's say I'm reading an article or post, it'd be nice to have something else I can read next that's similar. You don't want just anything and everything around you. So there's all these little things. You're trying to find ways to filter it and organize it and sort it, and it brings up its own little complications. And you're thinking, oh my God, this is driving me nuts. Like I say, I'm a one-man band. And I have sometimes there's obstacles in my way, but I always manage to find a way. I have a way forward with it, or I'll find an alternative to it. So maybe, all right, okay. Like, for instance, website I've just been doing this weekend, I had an idea in my head of what it would be. And then as soon as I started working on it, I realized that was too basic of a concept. It was like, for instance, it's physical media. And in my mind, I just had it segregated. Like, we'll do vinyl, we'll do Blu-rays, DVDs. But then it's like, that was the image I had, was just layers on the front page. And then maybe you click through, and it takes you Blu-rays and DVDs. But I think in concept, it was a bit basic. And when does it alter and change? When does the front page adapt? So instead, I've gone for like a magazine style cover design. I could have obviously gone with anything, but yeah. But anyway, I'm working on it, and I'm so excited about it. Just because for me, I always work for myself first, and then hopefully it helps other people. But with that in mind, if no one ever visits, I'm happy to entertain myself, if you like. But again, it's when I think about my talents, you think writing, being on camera, speaking, doing all those things, they're probably my stronger suit. And then the web design is something I've put a lot of years into understanding, learning, and better at. but it's just something. It's not something where I would feel, I wouldn't say it's hard to say. And I'm not a web designer per se. Like, for instance, I couldn't offer my services to someone because I will have my limitations. But on a basic intermediate, like even an intermediate level, I'm good. I know I understand it. So I can create my own platforms, if you like. I can create my own YouTube content. I can build a whole profile around that because I've done web design for ages. I can use Photoshop. I can use video editors. So I'm comfortable creating a YouTube channel. I'm comfortable messing about, creating all these cover designs. It's not something I like doing a lot, so I've made it very basic on purpose, just to make it easy for me to edit it rather than having to do elaborate covers all the time. But I can do it. And if I wanted to do a bit more unique for each video, I could, but it doesn't interest me enough. Again. But yeah, I got quite excited just looking at what I've done. I'm thinking, bloody hell, you do a lot. Because I'm like, not even just a one-man band, I'm a one-man brand. Weirdly enough, I can service myself. I can write. So I can sit on a word processor and I can write my books. And then I can format the book. I can edit the books and I do it all myself. And then I format the books, then I self-publish the books, then so then I release it to get published, to get printed, and then I do all the description for the product pages. So I do all the admin work and the writing process and the creative side to, making it look appealing. And I can do all that. And then I can also do all of the YouTubing, or everything. I know what microphone to get. I know how to connect all the microphones. I know how to use the video software. I know how to edit if I want to do a video edit. I know how to organize, record. I know how to publish it to YouTube. I know how to do the whole process, So I can create a book from scratch. I can do a YouTube video. I can do a video from scratch. And I can create a website from scratch. I can do all of that. Now, of course, I use tools to make it speed up the process, but I'm proficient with them too. And I understand the process to do so. And then, of course, I was thinking towards the end there, I was like, wait a minute, I've also done my audiobooks and podcast episodes. So I can create audio content as well. I understand how that all works, how to work with the gain, the compression, to normalize your audio, to make sure it's stable. We don't want high peaks and low lows. You don't want it so your audio is all over the place. Who wants to listen to that, where you're trying to hear something and it's either explosive or whispering? Want it steady the whole way through. That's comfortable. So it's not by chance what I do, I make sure that everything's to the standard that I want. So whether it's the reading experience, or whether it's the viewing experience and the listening experience, it's all done because I take the time to make sure that I get it right. Because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, although none of us are perfect, of course. But for me, it's quite exciting to know that I can do all these things myself. I don't have to hire someone. And again, we take ourselves for granted. And this is the whole point of all this, is that, see your value. I see so many people, if they need to write a book, they'll hire those. I've seen some people pay like £10,000 plus just to get someone to help them produce their book. And even though they're doing to do most of it. It's like, bloody hell, I don't pay a penny. It doesn't cost me anything. I do it all myself. And then maybe you hire people to do your video editing and anything to do with your YouTubing. Now, of course, it can elevate your content, but I don't do any of that. Other people hire a web designer, someone to create them a website and manage that and do all the process. I do all that myself too. So everything I do barely costs me anything. And I say barely because to have any website out on the internet, you do need to pay a hosting fee. Now, you could use some of the free tools from content management systems, things like WordPress. I think there's Wix and there's some other ones. And you can host it there and use their own branding, and you'll have your website will be something .wordpress or .wix, and it'd be shit, to be totally honest. And you could probably get away. I don't know if it's all free. I don't use that sort of stuff in terms of on their own platforms. Do it on my own platform. So I have to. So I'm a transparent person. It costs me nearly about 50. It used to be £12 a month. It's £15 nearly now a month. So even if I don't get any viewers, it's still costing me £15 a month. But it's something that I feel is important for my own branding. So I always make sure I pay that every month. And then I have to pay for my domain name. So your domain name is your web address. So where I've got my own name, stephenbradleywaters.com, that'll cost me annually. I have also got other web domains. I've dropped some because I just realized I don't have the time or the energy or the interest to really make anything of them. So yeah, I've let some go, but there's others that I feel are quite precious to me, or at least I like the names. But they cost per year as well. Not too much money. It's about £15 a year, so it's not like the end of the world. So anyway, it does cost you a little bit to have your own websites and things. But once you've like my hosting package, for instance, I can host so many different websites on it as long as I have the domains, or you can do subdomains. So the recent website I've done with the physical media, I realized I don't want to keep having loads of different web addresses because it costs me, and if I get bored of it or whatever. So by having this, I've done a subdomain of my main website. So physicalmedia.stephenbradleywaters.com. Because it doesn't cost me for a new domain name. I can do any subdomain as many times as I want. You know, where I've got my reading series, I might do that as well. I might do reading.stephenbradleywaters.com and do a whole website based on me reading other books and things to turn the YouTube channel into a website. You know, and it just, if I'm interested, it keeps me busy, you know. And I love the visual creative aspect of it. It's something I really enjoy. And even the tinkering with, a lot of the time, that's what it is. I enjoy the creation of making the website, even though it can be stressful. But then when it comes to propagating the website with content, so creating all that content yourself, that's when interest starts dropping, because you're like, oh, I can't bother to do this regularly because I've got other things to do, you know. But yeah, I'm just a bit shocked what I could do. Like, I've made a little list here to the right hand side, and I haven't even bothered with it yet. And I've just labelled it. Look, author, audiobook narrator, YouTuber, podcaster, web designer, and then website admin. Couldn't even decide what the hell to call myself. Website admin. I mean, I can do the back end. I do the front end, the back end. So the back end's all the bits and pieces. Like, for instance, it's where you host it, pretty much, where you host your website. So there's all sorts of trickery that you can do down there. It's quite cool, all the things you can do. I don't even know some of it. I haven't had to touch some, but I can do others. For instance, I can make unlimited amount of email addresses attached to my name. So where it's stephenbradleywaters.com, I can do anything. I could do mail at stephenbradleywaters.com, you know, or I can do contact form at stephenbradleywaters.com, or you can do like anything your mind takes you to. So you've got unlimited web addresses. That's pretty cool, isn't it? You can do it on any domain, and then you can actually just forward it to your normal email address. So then you don't have to keep logging in and messing about. You just go straight to your email. It's fun, isn't it? And it's good, and I think it makes it unique. It's good for branding. But these are little things you can do down the back on the back end of the hosting, you know, of the websites, and then the front end's all the pretty stuff you see at the end. But then I don't know what you'd call it. Someone, because obviously normally you'd have a web editor, someone who decides everything at the end, you know, so everybody works for them. Because I'm a one-man band, I'm doing the articles as well. I'm writing everything. And I'm going to show it all now. I'm not doing a lot of rambling. I'm going to have to put some images up for security reasons, because I'm going to show a little bit of the hosting, but not too much, because it's important. I only show well, we'll see. So this is just blocking the right-hand side to make sure I can show. So anyway, we've seen the YouTube channel, I've got multiple YouTube channels, all different themes, but AO. Then we go on to my hosting package. So this is part of the hosting package. There's obviously other stages before this, but this is one part of. This is the main hub. And I thought it'd be good just to be able to show people some of the things available to me behind the scenes. So when you've got your website, what could you actually do with that website? Well, there's a lot of things I can do. For instance, like I said here, I haven't even used all of it. So I can make unlimited email accounts. I can forward the email accounts to any of the email addresses to whatever email I want. So again, I could make 10 email accounts tied to my main website name, something at stephenbradleywaters.com. And then I could send that to my own personal email address. And then anytime an email comes through, boom. And that could be good for spam as well. Let's say I don't want to receive, let's say you've got to sign up to something and you don't want to use your email address. You can just I can create one on the spot. Spam at stephenbradleywaters.com, you know. And then again, forward them if I want, or you could just leave it there. You never have to see it again. So that's forwarding. Email routing, I'm not really too sure about that, what that means, because I would have thought forwarding is the same thing. That maybe that's making sure certain mail goes to certain places. So if it's got a certain a certain email address, I don't know. I've not looked into that, weirdly enough. You've got all sorts. Autoresponders, that's interesting. Haven't used it, but it's self, it's quite apparent. If someone sends you an email, they would automatically receive the reply, which is pretty cool. But I'm not sure. That'd be very business related, wouldn't it? We don't really need that. So this is a file manager, so you can actually go and you can upload things and store it on the storage system if you want to do it that way manually, or you can use the however you're hosting your website. So you can do things inside the hosting warehouse management system. Not the website management system, or you can use here as well. Admin your database. That's where all of everything you do for that website is stored on the database. Now, some systems like WordPress, for instance, you can create backups with using their own tools. So within the designing of the product, you can use it there, or you can do it here. This is far more personalized. But if you do make mistakes, you are going to cause some havoc. But it's a great way to back up your website. This is the domains. So if you want to add a new domain, you can add it there. But you can also set up your subdomains and things within this as well. So it's all pretty cool. Metrics. So let's say I was having problems with one of my websites or something, and I'm like, this is just doing me head in. Whatever's happening, I'd have to come and check the error log, see what's going on with it. Is it being attacked? Is it what's going on? And you can do all these things, It even shows you bandwidth, how much usage the traffic's the website's receiving. If I felt there was a threat from a certain IP address, or someone's causing me trouble, and you're noticing it regularly, you go, well, okay, I've pinpointed this by maybe using the error logs, maybe using other tools. You can start looking at ways to block them, so you can use your IP blocker there, and there's other tools. Now, websites should always have an S at the end, HTTPS. That means it's encrypted. It's very, very poor practice to have HTTP with no S at the end, because it means it's not encrypted and it's very vulnerable to being attacked, really, and hacked. So we should be really making sure that we've got S. So you can buy security certificates, and it's a bit of a hassle setting it all up. I'm not going to go through all that, but it's a pain in the ass. It does my head in, but it's once you've done it, you've done it. Or you can use auto through the cPanel here. They've got their own auto ones as well, which is pretty cool. And it was cool here, because I said we can do subdomains, so you can make as many as you want. If I want to tinker with an idea or a different management system or something, I can just play with it. So I could do test.stephenbradleywaters.com, and then I could just use this, whatever this builder is, SitePad website builder. I could chuck that on and have a little play with it. I can chuck WordPress on it, have a little play with it. There's so many things. And even if you go down the bottom here, we've got other tools as well, and they're everywhere. Even categories, look, blogs. If I wanted to I could do blog.stephenbradleywaters.com, add a blog. Wiki, social networking. You could just play with it and see what you want to make. And if you can't, you can always delete it. And then we've got other things here, like we've got advanced. So cron jobs are like automated activities. So it might be you set a cron job up to do an automated backup, or you might set a cron job to do anything automated, pretty much. I don't know all the things you're really going to need to do that are automated, but it might just be automated, update your website, propagate it within Google. I don't know if you can do that with that, but you can do, there's certain things you can do. But anyway, it's fun, and you learn it over time. I've been doing this for years, so I prefer to have, like, for instance, when you get a hosting package, you get to pick. You can obviously use different whatever provider. I've been with many different ones. I've found one I like, but you get different tools. You get some that are quite restrictive. It might say you can only have one domain. We'll manage it. You can use WordPress, for instance, and that's limiting. I like it where you don't need that. You can have more freedom. You don't need someone to manage it for you. But I guess if you're a novice, you just pick that. I pick the ones with a bit more freedom to it. I want CPU. I want to make sure we've got enough CPUs. Now, some people don't think about that. CPUs is going to affect how fast your website loads and things, You pay for the bare basic, your website's going to load slow. I need it to move fast. I want it to be good. So I want decent storage. So I've got statistics on the side here that you can't quite see. And it says disk usage 10 gigabyte off infinity. So it looks like I've got unlimited. I haven't really checked it for a long time. Domains, add-on domains. I've got 5 domains, but I can add as many as I want. 6 subdomains, add as many as I want. All of these are unlimited. Email accounts, 11, but I can have unlimited, you know. Forwarders, 10, but you can have unlimited. So I forwarded 10 email addresses to my, yeah, it says 11 email accounts, and I forwarded 10 of them to my personal or somewhere else, you know. Yeah, anyway, it tells you all the different things. Physical, you know, memory usage, so how much RAM, CPU usage. You get information. This is all useful behind the scenes, you know. So anyway, I know it's probably boring the shit out of some people at this point, but I'm just showing people that, you know, predominantly I'm an author here. I've done my books. I've got 7 books. I've got more coming. But I'm not just I'm not just an author. I do so much else, and I don't even give myself credit for it. So I thought we'll go through some of the websites now. We'd probably be all right to remove that now if I would make sure I never go on that anymore, because obviously if I do, I'll miss it. Anyway, let's get rid of some of this blocking now so we can see some pictures. So this is one of my webs. This is my main website for me, and I mess about sometimes with these menus. I think there's too many sometimes, so I have to try and work it out. This is quite long. I do have to go through the website at some point and minimize it a bit more, but at the same time, does it really matter? People can stop scrolling whenever they want. That's kind of my attitude at the minute. I will update this blurb at some point. I don't want to keep it stagnant. It's been the same for quite a while. I want to make it a bit more interesting. That's the website I was working on over the weekend. If you click it, it takes you there. We'll look at that in a moment. But yeah, I try and promote some of my YouTube videos lately on my on my website. I started doing this gradient as well. For a long time, it was just very basic, very dark colors or black, you know, or light colors. But it was only one tone. Now we've got this dualistic thing, and I like it. So I've been using gradients a little bit more, experimenting, and I like that a lot. So I'm doing that there. Then we've got this one. Then we've got a little bit more gradient here. Again, you can see I'm playing with it, but I'm enjoying it. I try and make every panel different color to make it contrast to the next, you know. But sometimes I think bold colors are good too. But yeah, it's a feature. Mainly it's just me featuring my books and my YouTube videos as well, because I recognize not everybody's going to, you go on YouTube, you're going to lose some videos. Let's make them some prominent. But that's that one. Now, if you click through, you can click through physical media here on my list, or you can just click the image, or you can click that, but it doesn't really come up a hand icon. But we click this, and it will take us through to my website. We can do it from there anyway, but I'll just go over to it. So this is the one I've been working on at the weekend. Now, creating the content gets time consuming, and that's really where we are. But I wanted to make sure we have something here. This little tab there I've made TikTok. So if we click that, I don't know if it's gonna mess me about in it. But we'll click it anyway. Then we go back. So we go TikTok, and then we got my TikTok channel. It's actually been growing quite well. My physical media one, got 847 followers. It's always growing. So I've been sharing a lot of my physical media on YouTube, on TikTok. But I thought, you know what, I might sit and do a website, and that's kind of what this is. So it's me turning that and taking, instead of video, we'll do photos, and I'll try and organize it in a way that's interesting. Because what it is, I want to help people get away from relying on streaming services and really start to find that passion for collecting and actually enjoying what we own. You know, it's like memorabilia, but it's really nice, and you can always access it. You know, I hate all this streaming shit now, where the prices keep going up. They chuck adverts at you. They take away content. They make you bound to this service that really we don't need. It was great at the beginning, but now it's tiring. So hopefully what I do will help people find that love for collecting as well, like I do, you know. Again, if I'm the only one that see it, great. I've documented my collection anyway. It is time consuming. I recently did this, so I'll show some of it. So we've got well, do it here. I'm segregating this side here. I need to figure out what I want to do a bit more with it, because it's just amalgamating this whatever's here, and it's just kind of pointless because it's just duplicating it, isn't it? But we've done top lists. So if I do a top 10, a top 5 lists, that's fun there. This is my collection here, which would be the main content. It'd be what there'd be more of over time. And then we've got a how-to. I've already got other ideas for how-tos. I've just kept them as drafts for now. It took a long time to do this. So this how-to, for instance, is how to create DVD Blu-rays, Blu-ray digital backups. And I made it as simple as I possibly could so people do not get confused. So if anyone has a disk drive put for their computer and they want to back up anything, it's completely free. The tools are free. You just need to have an external or internal DVD disk drive or Blu-ray drive for your computer, and then you can use it. And I've gone through the whole process of doing this, and I've made sure this not sourcing or sharing content for piracy. So we're not backing them up to share them for pirate, like, to give them to people for free. It's for your personal collection, you know. And that's really what I'm saying, because that's what I use mine for. It's just a personal backup. So if I'm traveling, or if I'm sitting at my desk and I want to sit and watch something, it's easier than going around getting all my DVDs and stuff and bringing them all up into into my space. I've just got a permanent, easy to access library, just like you would streaming. And if I'm going on holiday, I can put them on a USB stick, bosh, take them with me. So that's why I'm doing it. And preservation, if a disc got broke, for instance. But anyway, I'll go through every process, step one, every little bit, so you can't even get confused. Because I do know that some people would naturally go too fast for people. They won't know what they're doing. I've gone through the whole process of extracting the data and then even compressing it and converting it to modern formats and smaller sizes. And you can see there, like, for instance, finished product is the Big Bang Theory. I've now done 8 seasons of the Big Bang Theory, all done. And that's great for me. And it's DVD. If it was Blu-ray, it'd be sharper. I've only got the DVDs, but later on, maybe I'll get Blu-rays and do it all again. I don't know. But there's me saying, look, 1 to 8, and then there's what they look like. Now, there are other front-end systems some people are doing to stream around their own home with their own backups, but I don't need that level of stuff. I'm fine with how I've done it. But again, that will grow. The how-to content will grow later. So if we click on it there, how-to, we're only going to have one, of course, but there's going to be more. I'm going to do the CD ripping process, making your iPhone like an iPod, so we don't need music streaming either. I'm going to cover things like that later as well. Even backing up your VHS collection, bit more complicated, need more hardware. Bit of a shame. Could wish I'd done it when I was recording the videos, but now we're going to have to wait until I need to do anything again because it's a process. I have to drag my VCR near my desk and all sorts of messing around. So that won't be happening yet. Then we've got collection. So this is going to be me showing my collection off a bit, but really just really getting people excited about wanting things. You know, if you like an artist, get more of their stuff. It's fun. And then I've got little tabs here. So we go movies, TV box sets, music. There will be other things like books. Once I add them, I'll go, oh yeah, I need to add that now as a checklist. So that'll narrow the once there's loads, that'll narrow it down. Top lists is where I do top 5, top 10. So we've got top 10 Tim Burton movies. We've got top 5 movies that I consider top 5 at the moment, but it can change. Top 5 music albums. So if we just go before I go off the channel, off the site, like top 10 Tim Burton movies. And this was really what's in my collection, but I just started looking up more and I just thought, yeah, this is probably about right. Corpse Bride, I've made it clear. I've not seen it yet, but it's got a good reputation. I can't obviously put it higher in the rankings without having seen it, but I've got it in DVD. Once I've seen it, I'll decide. But initially I didn't put trailers, but I thought I'd best do. I mean, it makes it a bit more interesting and it's good for me. Again, if I'm the only one watching this, going through my website, I want to be entertained and I'm going to want trailers. So let's do that. And I'm making it where you can buy them as well. But of course, that's up to people whether they use the link. Again, it just makes it easier. Corpse Bride. So anyway, this is my list. Corpse Bride, Dumbo, Big Fish. I love Big Fish. Then we've got Edward Scissorhands, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Then we've got Alice in Wonderland, Sweeney Todd, Beetlejuice, so the sequel, Sleepy Hollow, and then the original Beetlejuice. They're great films, aren't they? You know, people might want things in different orders, but that's my list and I love it. There we go to the top here. And that's what I mean. It's all curated. And I'm going to put more effort in. I've got other stuff I'm going to be adding to this. It's just time consuming. Then we've got Letterboxd, which is an external website, but it documents your movies. Now, there's a big gap sometimes because I'm watching TV shows. I've been watching The Office US all the way through. I think there's 9 seasons. I've watched it all. Now I'm watching it again because I loved it. I get like that. So that's why there's a gap in movies, but it doesn't mean I'm not enjoying something. It's just this doesn't document TV shows. So I can't share that I'm watching The Office because there's no feature for that. So there's just periods where there's nothing. But I think it's useful to add it there. And now because it's like it's not even the fact that it's a subdomain. It does make things quick though. It does move quick because it's on the same thing. But anyway, we go about. I'm going to add pictures of my collection at some point, like my shelving and things. So you can see that. That I'll do later. That's going to be fun. And then I just do return to website. And it takes you back to my home website. And then we go physical media here. And it'll take you back to the website. So it's all quite convenient. Return to bed. You know, so it's all part of the same thing. finding an easy way to get there from this website's not that easy. I don't know. If you use your mobile phone, like most people don't even use the menu. So how do I put it here? At the moment, I've got this. It's a bit big, but I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I haven't decided. Because eventually what I might do is link all my websites here, just put names or something or tabs, websites, then physical media, other ones. Because I do have other websites. This one I've spoke about a few times. It's very bland. It used to look a lot better, but I deleted it and then just made this just so I can put some gaming stuff on. Whether I release it or not, it's inside PCgaming.com. You know, I lost that name at one point because I let it go. And then someone was trying to sell it for £1,000, and I thought, no. And then eventually they lapsed in not renewing it, and then I bought it, so I got it back. So I don't intend to lose this, even though I'm not really using it at the moment. Yeah. Anyway, that's that. So anyway, there's that. So anyway, that's the websites. I've done more over time, but this is just mainly the main ones right now because I keep deleting them. To be honest, I delete some, but yeah, creating them's the good bit. It's interesting, but keep adding the content's hard work. Like this is a whole process for me to be able to keep adding content to this because I have to. It's getting from your phone, you know, getting it from the phone to this is just a pain in the backside. But it's a process, so I have to do that. Then I use Photoshop. For instance, I did Meatloaf yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, how am I going to do this? Because I don't want to spam images all over the page." So I used Photoshop to make a canvas big enough, and then I could put the two side by side. So we've done the vinyl where you can see the front and back. So I thought that'd be good because I don't always just want to see the front covers. And then I've done the same with the CDs, look, front, back, and then I've done the inside. So just use Photoshop to do it. But it's a whole process, you know. You've got to get the original images on your computer. Then we've got to like cut them out. It's like, bloody. It's just more hassle than you think to do all this stuff. But I think it's worth it, to be honest, because because again, what I want people to go, oh, this is cool. I like Meatloaf. Oh, I want to get his CDs now. It'd be cool to have this. You know, have the little things. And then I did a little concert at the end. Look, check out Meatloaf live concert on YouTube. Where I could do things like that, I probably will, because I just think it adds a bit more interesting things on the chat on the page, really. But again, hopefully people will get into it. At the moment, I've disabled comments. There's no comment feature, only because I've had it so many times. You just get people who spam. You know, it's automated. It's bots, and they cause so much trouble. It's not worth it at the moment until I can find a system that can manage that. Then, for now, it's going to have to be disabled especially while I'm building it. So we've done that one. So now we go over to books. And this is me managing my books. So this is my books where I publish the books. Then they get put onto Amazon. And so so we've done the web design now. We've seen it. You've seen the back end of websites. You've seen the final result of the websites. And now we've got my books, which is my main thing, really. So you can see this is my Amazon profile, for instance. And it's that 7 books, 1, 2, you know. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole process as well, to be totally honest. If we was to click through actually, I'm not going to bother doing all that right now. Anyone can go and look it up. But like you say, I have to do the blurb for Amazon or wherever else I've put it on as well. There's a lot of management that goes into it. And what we're not seeing at this stage here, clearly, is the writing phase. We haven't not seen the editing. I mean, I've done plenty of content in the past on that. So, it's a whole process that goes into all of this. And I do the whole lot, you know. So we've done the whole website there. We've done the whole list. We're already doing all the YouTubing, as we've seen. Is it this one? So we did the YouTubing. We're doing the web design. We're doing the books. And then we're even doing the audiobooks, you know. So I've got my audiobooks as well. And this is it, where you put it all onto ACX, which is where Audible is hosted. And yeah, you have to get it approved, and then it goes through the whole process of that. Yeah, it's a hassle, man. And then you end up on Audible. And here I am on Audible. So I'm on Amazon, I'm on Audible, I'm on YouTube, I'm on my own websites. You know, I'm all over the place. Like I said, I don't even give myself credit a lot of the time for what I do. No, we don't need that one now, because that was when I opened that. And then we've got the podcasts. Now, I'm not doing a podcast anymore because it's a hassle for me to keep doing it. And I always said by the end of the year, it's going to stop. So the last one was the end of December or mid-December. But there's a lot of episodes there, look. Don't know if it tells you how many. But anyway, like it says there, it's on Spotify, Amazon. So we go over here. So I'm on Spotify as well. Who would have thought? I mean, I don't pay attention to it, to be totally honest. I don't get anything from it. That's the problem. A lot of the work I do, it doesn't make me money. It's always a crisis. Because the thing about my websites as well, if we go here, I haven't decided whether I want to implement adverts. I've always had a problem with adverts. I don't like how intrusive they are. And a lot of time you can't pick and choose to a degree. And I don't like it when adverts pop up on your website and it'll say click here or something. And for that, I don't like that because that confuses the audience. I don't want someone to click an advert where I make money, but I don't even know where the hell that link's going. And then it confuses people, and it maybe make them download something they shouldn't be downloading because you get some dodgy adverts as well. I don't like none of that. So a lot of the time I usually just promote my own work. So for instance, if this wasn't attached to my main website, I would probably promote my book. I might even still do it. I might just put one of my books here. And I can even create my own little banner if I want to, couldn't I? I could make a banner and put it in the middle of one of the pages where it just goes across. It's not going to hurt anyone. And it'd just be maybe promoting, maybe I'll do random banners. These are things I can do on Photoshop. I could just do random banners, for instance, couldn't I? And for each book, and then put them in the pages. And it's then, I'm only ever advertising my own work and it's legitimate, because I don't really like all the advertising. I always think that if I'm going to advertise something, why don't I advertise my own stuff? Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? But I don't even put adverts on my YouTube videos. It's adverts nowhere. So I am missing out money for sure. So this is a passion project for me. It's a something for me. I truly enjoy it, and it doesn't cost me a penny. This channel, this website costs me absolutely nothing because I'm already hosting it. So I'm already hosting, aren't I? Because I'm already paying my hosting fees for my website, and it's attached to this website. Look, oh, you can't see the browser name, but you got StephenBradleyWaters.com, and I can host it because it's on that domain. I'm not paying for another domain, so that website never costs me any money extra because it's just attached to my main domain. So this didn't cost me anything to make. I did it myself. And it doesn't cost me anything to add the content on there. So it's all free. And I'll keep working on it. I'll do it when, because I am passionate about it. Like I've done my TikTok channel. I want to get all my stuff there. And again, even I'll look because there'll be stuff on the shelves or something maybe a little bit obscure that you don't really see. And it's like, oh, yeah, I like that. Oh, I didn't realize how much Meatloaf stuff I got. Or I've got Michael Jackson I'm putting on later. I've got Backstreet Boys I'm putting on as well. And it's like, you forget about that, Oh, look how much stuff I got. Yeah, cool. And then when I might do another feed for new arrivals. I mean, I might even move this channel. This part I might do the new arrivals. So when I buy something, maybe I put it there. That could be a good idea, couldn't it? New arrivals. Yeah, that'd be cool. And I'm thinking doing other things as well, like merchandise and things. Like, for instance, I've got, if you look at this little guy that holds my controller. So he holds the PS5 controller. Might do things like that because people might enjoy things like that because I do, like this from Fallout, little figurine Fallout 3 I got a long time ago. Pretty cool. I don't know, people might like them. If anyone plays the game Watch Dogs, a very original Watch Dogs. Got this cool Aiden. I think it's Aiden. Yeah. Anyway, I'll probably feature things like that in there as well at some later date. But yeah, for me, this is fun. But it can't be something I lose too much. I can lose a week to it. I can lose a little period where I do this and do that. But then the priority has to be, like, if I'm thinking about, like, what do I want to do with my life? Priority, of course, is the books and the videos when I feel like doing them. If I've got something to do or say, this is more, like I say, a pet project for me. But it's really, but I like it. I like the creative process of it. I like the visual creativity. So it's all different things I enjoy. And like I say, I sometimes forget how good I am at certain things. I don't say that posture above. It's just I forget how good I am at creating things from nothing, I think, again, I said at the very beginning, I think people probably be a bit surprised that you have all these sort of niche abilities. You know, you can write a book from scratch, you can do that, produce it, do the whole thing, and then release that book. And it's like, wow, that's crazy. Who could do that? And it's like, a lot of people can do websites, but, you know, so can I. And it's just, I can create my own websites, get it all published, get it all released and stuff, and it'll all work. And I'll do all that, and I can keep fine tuning it. So I can do the website, web design stuff, you know. And then, what was the other thing? The YouTuber. I can do, like you see me now, I can always do YouTube content. It's easy. It's the easiest thing of the lot. I just hit record, turn the little light I got above my screen on, uncover the camera, sit down, put my green screen behind me. Be nice if I didn't have all that shit. But anyway, it's just like, go. It's the easiest part of any of it. I don't have to work. Let's say a video's an hour, and it's only an hour. And I just put on YouTube and do a little bit of work to that, and a little tiny, very, very delicate, like 5 minutes of work for the cover on Photoshop, because I've streamlined the process so easily. But yeah, hopefully, what I want to do is show people that you can do many things in life. You know, there's a lot of things. There's people that are going to be talented at hands-on stuff. You know, they can create like carpentry, and they can just do all that. You know, create loads of different things. So I think there's so many different skill sets out there. But if you have an aptitude for something creative, there might be a chance you can do other things that are creative. Like, for instance, if you look at what I've done, if we say like I've got it listed, author, audiobook narrator, YouTuber, podcaster, web designer, website admin. Well, because I can write. Like, if I was to test myself further, I could probably look into doing poetry, and by poetry extension, you could do songwriting. Now, it doesn't mean I've got an aptitude for those things, but they're things you can tinker with. So it might be at some later date, all of a sudden you can do that. You know, yeah. But I do other things, you know, even with these, if we say there, like I said, I've got my gaming channel, but I'm thinking of, instead of putting, because that becomes a bit more of a headache, to be totally honest, the gaming channel, because it becomes a bigger thing than I'm not prepared to put into it. I was making it a brand a long time ago, and I wanted to cover news, all sorts of things, reviews, news, previews, upcoming games, all these things. It was just like, I haven't got the time for this. It's too big. The concept's too big. But if we go back to my YouTube channel and then we go on my gaming channel, I've got so much content on here. I could easily make another gaming website and filter all this in. So where I've put it on categories, I could easily do all that. You know, I could do a post for each video, talk about what the video's about and all those different things, link to the game and all those. Again, there's all sorts of things we can do with this. And then post a YouTube video at the bottom of the post. So it's almost like turn the YouTube channel into a website. So I could do it. I just know it's hassle. I don't know if I could be bothered. At the moment, no, because it's stretching myself too thin. I don't want to be everywhere at the moment. I'm enjoying doing this because, like I said, done that. And then I even did my VHS tapes, for instance. Some of the ones I like in my collection. I've got a lot of VHS tapes. But I was trying to pick up the ones that I really, really like in my collection. I've then again added trailers at the bottom. Because a lot of films go unnoticed, you know. But having these ones, you know, I think is rare. I definitely love the design to Ghostbusters. I might redo the photos because they're a bit bright. I'm not happy with that, but again, I needed to get it done. I just did it. But anyway, I like how I'm presenting it. It will evolve over time. The sidebar here will evolve over time. There'll be things I just go, wait a minute, I'm thinking that'd be a good idea. Yeah, I mean, because these are VHS tapes, I've not put links to buy them, because I'm not going to sit there and figure out where you can buy them on eBay and all those places. They might even be available. I think people can search themselves for that lot. But again, hopefully it shows people, wait a minute, it's cool. Even if you just think VHS tapes look cool, you can just buy them for collection. You don't even have to watch them. You know, you can go, that is a piece of history I want. That's how I watch them, some of them back, but some of them I just buy because I really want them. You know, I think to myself, Beetlejuice originally released on VHS. I want the original release. And that's what I do, you know, and it's just, that's what I wanted. So that's how I've gone to collect these films, you know. Yeah, I also have Beetlejuice on Blu-ray. So yeah, I'm going to watch the Blu-ray. It's unlikely I'm going to watch the VHS tape, but it's there and it's pretty cool. That's kind of what I want for people, you know. And there's some films in the UK never made it to Blu-ray anyway or DVD, like Michael with John Travolta. That's not in the UK. You can't get that on disc. You can get it on Prime Video, about £8, I think. And I've got it on Prime Video as well because I love the film. But I also have the original videotape, but it's very, very rare. A lot of these are actually rare. That's why they're one of my favourites. You know, it's not easy to get the original Gremlins on VHS in the UK. Neither is it the very original Ghostbusters. And I know Pagemaster was getting hard to find. And Beetlejuice, very expensive. Like, I paid about £15 for that. And then I started seeing there's only about 3 copies in the UK. It goes up and down because obviously sellers are whatever someone's discarding. But at one point, it was about £60 to get that film. So it's not just the cost of it, it's how rare and hard to find they get as well. Like, you might want a film and you won't be able to get it. So that's what's beautiful about the collecting process, though, is you get what you want, you know, curate it. But as you can see, I've got these all different interests. My head is everywhere, you know. It's like I'm doing my YouTube videos, I've got my books, I've got my websites to keep me busy. Then all of a sudden, we've got the audio books, we've got the podcast. It's like, when does it end? I'm a busy bee. So that's the thing with me. I get frustrated that I don't see success from what I do a lot. Like, I get really, really fed up sometimes. But I'm never bored in my mind. Like, my mind's too busy. I can get fed up, but not totally bored. So I might lose motivation in periods, but there's just so much I can be getting on with. You know, I've got a book on the go. I can just sit there and spend a month just writing on the book and just go mad if I want to do that. Or I can spend a week or so just really hashing out a website and just getting it done and get more stuff put on, get excited for a period. Then I can jump off and keep bouncing between my YouTube videos. And then just got so much going on, you know. At any moment, like right now, I've still got the audio book that I could record to my latest book. I keep forgetting the title of it now because I've got so many bloody books. Folly Dream Sparkle Your Soul. I haven't even done the audio book for it, and I'm not convinced I'm going to do an audio book for it because I haven't seen sales from the previous audio books. Again, you would argue that's probably the most important part of what I do. You know, maybe it's wise to spend a week, because it only take about a week. Spend a week, do your audio book, then it's done for the rest of your life, isn't it? So that'd be the wise thing to do. And here I am making a website that's only really I'm interested in at the moment. And again, it's how do we use time, but how do we keep ourselves interested, you know? And like I said, I've still got the other books, these 2 other books I'm working on. Well, I've stopped for a little bit, but, you know, I need to get back doing them at some point. We've still got this. Doesn't mean I'm just working on it all the time. It's just I'm quite fast at what I do. And I'm quite focused. So, for instance, I started doing the website the other night. I think it was Saturday evening. I don't know when I started, maybe about 8 p.m. I think I just thought, you know what, let's have a little look. And I was doing it till about 5 a.m. because I get so caught up, I can't. It's just, no, I need to get this finished now. Let's just do this. Oh, yeah, I just want to get that bit done. And then I spent Sunday doing the same thing. And then that's how it come to be, you know. Because I don't like leaving things unfinished. So I just keep working and working and working. And now I'm not happy how I've organised it. I'm happy how I'm presenting it. I like the content. And it gives me, what it is, it gives me a way forward, really, to create the content. So like, I know how I'm managing it. So when it comes to creating the next article, the next post, it's easy for me to do it because I know, right, we're going to go image here. We're going to go right in here. Web links there if we're going to add anything like that. Trailer, bosh. And then we'll do a dividing line. That's kind of what we're doing here, look. Image. I'll put that there. Wait a minute. I might need to drop that. Oh, okay. On this series, I've put the links here. On some of the other video posts, I put them underneath. Depends how I want to do it. As long as it's consistent on the page, I don't care what way I do it. But anyway, yeah, I thought it's good. And I thought it'd be good at the end to show, like, after I've done this whole list of top 5 films, you can also see that I own the films. You know, so we've got all the discs there. But again, the more cumbersome part of all this is getting the images from my phone to my computer. And it's always finding the best way to streamline that. Like, for instance, at the moment, I just log in. What I do, I work on the website here, and then I log into the website on my phone through the web browser, and then I use that just to I take the photo, and then I upload there, and then it naturally comes through on my system. So I work from it there. Then I have to download it from there, and then put it into Photoshop if I want to do any cuts or do any different things with it. But it's like, oh, god damn. That's the part I hate. So I don't mind the part of tinkering with the website and creating and things, but it's the photoshopping and dealing with the imageries that drives me mental, to be honest, and it's what takes me the longest time. So the more images I've got to do, the hard, the freaking grind it is, you know. But this will build up. Of course, it's only small at the moment, but I'm excited about it. Anyway, yeah. I'd say yeah. Anyway, I spend more time doing my videos, I think, because I do so many. I do way more videos than I even thought I did as well. But I do random updates on the websites too. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I was just a bit blown away, to be totally honest, because I thought, wait a minute, you can do a lot. Like I said, one man brand. That's what I see it. One man brand. Yeah. That's quite mental, isn't it? Like if you create a book and then you've got to find a way to promote the book, I can do the website to put the book on there so you can feature there. And then the websites are like so many possibilities with it. It's crazy. You can find a way to host it. You can do a forum. You can do all sorts of things if you want to. And then I'm good at branching out in different directions, going, wait a minute, I don't need to hire someone to do an audio book for me. I'll record it myself. I've got a good enough microphone. The quality's professional anyway. And it's like, I know I can articulate and I can speak. I'm confident doing it. So why would I want someone else to read my work for me? You know? Nah. I'll do it. There are a couple I might redo. Like, for instance, my previous audiobook, Find Your Peace to Save Your Soul, I'm a little bit concerned because I think that might be... Because you're always trying to find the right pattern recognition, like your voice. You're trying to do the best you can. I think I might have read it too slow. Like, it aggravates me a little bit. So I might go back and record that one again at a later date. And A Heartbroken Daughter was done with a weaker microphone, so I need to redo that one later. So there are works to re-go over, to enhance, so I do intend to do those again at some point. But if I'm going to do an audio book, it makes more sense to record the one that hasn't got one, doesn't it? But again, more work. But anyway, hopefully it's been interesting. I don't want to go around in circles and sort of go digressing too far. But I mean, this is just parts of. I mean, I could probably go, because I could go off all over the place, you know. Like, for instance, I could go here and I can go and show all the other channels I've built over the years, you know, all the other YouTube videos I've got and stuff like that. And you go even deeper into the websites, different categories, different pages, and all those different things we can look at, you know. And I think you see all that. I think that's probably enough for most people, really, isn't it? To have a website of your own and a YouTube, like to be able to make a YouTube video content, a lot of YouTube content, and then be able to create a platform like a website to be able to promote those or place those videos somehow as posts on a website. I know some people would absolutely love that. That'd be great. Because when I was younger, I was so excited about it. I was like, the idea to have our own website, I was like, that is something I need. I want to learn this. And I was learning it. And then, you know, I got comfortable doing my videos and things. It was always fun to do all that and mess about. Because I like writing. So for me, it was good to do websites. I can do video content, but then I can also write articles as well. So it's a good way to challenge myself, you know. But that's put into good practice now because now I can do all those. Yeah. Just figuring out what I want to do, to be totally honest, with things. Because, I mean, I could even do websites for each book, which would be pointless. You know what I mean? I could do that. The book name dot my name, but I don't see the point of all that. But I mean, it's something I could play with. Maybe it makes sense later. Good way to promote deeper aspects of the books. You know, what does that book entail? What's the main content? All things around it. That's something I might look into at a later date if I get interested to do such. But at the moment, no. I feel like in some ways the books should speak for themselves. I shouldn't really need to go and do a whole thing on promoting it. But again, you never know. Yeah, anyway. Hopefully it's been interesting to people. I know I've probably got around in circles and I probably bored the living shit out of people with web design. Yeah. But that's the web design is probably the most complicated part of all of it, you know, because it's so technical. Yeah. I think the writing as well, though, when you go through the editing phase and all the tools and different things we might use to create and do all that. But I've not covered it here because I'm not actively working on it to showcase. But that would probably, I think, if you're going to talk about a headache, I think either web design or the writing a book would probably be the biggest headache for the average person. But it's not easy to write a book, let alone publish it and do all the process to release it. And then, of course, a website has all sorts of coding and problematic issues that drive you to madness. The idea to be able to put a concept that you've got in your mind and then try to make that work in practice isn't always the easiest thing. There's always going to be problems that need to be overcome. It's challenging. It's technical. But then I think you could sit there and say those two things to the websites and the books. But then go and try and record a freaking audiobook and tell me that's easy when you keep getting declined because the audio is too low or the audio is too loud or it's not consistent. You know, and it's just that'll give you that, or you're getting tongue tied. You know, you're trying to read the words, and then you just keep making mistakes. And you get frustrated with yourself. You're going, God, can't get that right. So sometimes I think the easiest part, or what we'd consider the easiest part, can actually be something that's a bit more challenging than we expect. You know, but again, I think it all comes down to experience, like repetition. Do things enough times, you're familiar with it, aren't you? So yeah, it just becomes a bit more streamlined, I guess.